Hi y'all, Tab here with Real Michigan Anglers, and today we're going to do something just a little bit different. We're going to do some gardening stuff. I just got this new raised bed garden to add to my collection that I've got going on this side of my yard here. But we're going to tie this into the fishing thing, and we're going to show you guys how to make some homemade fertilizer from fish. These are some suckers I just caught the other night, and
Is it a sucker?
Yep.
Nice. I'm gonna keep that for my garden. That one won't even be heavy to carry. I'll take that one too.
Unfortunately, I kind of didn't store them very well, so they're already pretty gross, but we're gonna make some very gross fish stuff out of this anyway. It's gonna be nasty anyway, so it is what it is. So I'm gonna unbox this, check this out, get this set up, get the garden set up. I'm gonna get the sucker stuff going, show you how to do that, and we'll check back in after all that.
Without getting excessively graphic, this is how I'm going about this. This is the rudimentary way. If you have a grinder, that's a better solution. But essentially you just want to get some of this broken down a little bit, at least into some chunks that can dissolve. So the goal here is basically to make sun tea. We're going to put chopped up fish in a bucket. We're going to leave it out to spoil in the sun. And that's going to make some plants very happy. So that's the goal. And so I'll kind of update you as I get the bucket full of chopped fish. Okay, so here you can see the contents of the box. We've got a manual. It came with a screwdriver, which is awesome, and gloves, which is a nice touch for sheet metal working. It can be sharp edges. Got a bunch of panels, a bunch of more panels, some rods. That's my dog Milo. Hey Milo, say hi to everyone. Please say hi. He's sniffing. Alright, I'm going to start assembling this. Maybe I'll look at the manual briefly, but I think I know what to do. Maybe not. But let's get this guy set up. See how long this takes. Okay, so we're about halfway through getting this actually set up, and we're doing a little progress update so you can see how this is constructed. So we've got wing nuts and screws that hold the pieces together. Started by getting the sides connected, both of these two panels together, and then beamed across, and then it was pretty stable from there and not so hard to put the corners on. Owen's working on that corner. And let's get started over here on this one, and we'll be through this. This is the biggest size one. As you can see, I'm standing in it. It's a pretty good size. It is knee deep on me and pretty wide. Stabilization bars in the middle. So here it is completed. That's the box it came in compared to how big it actually is, compared to a 5-gallon bucket. So I've got my suckers all chunked up and soaking in water. Basically I just threw them in there and filled it up 3/4 of the way and put a lid on it with a hole punched in it so that as they ferment it doesn't explode and launch chunks of fish everywhere. Bless you. Thank you. So that's that, and we're gonna get this filled up with dirt and give these suckers a couple days to bake in the sun here and make some delicious sucker tea, and then we're gonna infuse that into the dirt and get it planted. So stay tuned for the next step in our raised garden bed journey. So the last step with this is these little anchors to hold things into place. And then we're gonna start filling the bed, and we're going to do a layer system here. We're going to start with a layer of cardboard, and then we're going to have some wood filler and some straw filler, and then some dirt and some other goodness. So I'll update you along the way with that. Alright, so we got a layer of cardboard on the bottom. This is going to help kill the grass and create a nice little barrier that will eventually decay. And then on top of that, logs. Logs as filler, and over time this is going to turn into mulch, which will make this lovely for years to come. So we're going to get the logs going here. Alright, so we got the logs in here. It's worth noting that it does matter what type of wood you use, as some types of wood can create problems with disease and or acidity in the soil that makes it harder for things to grow. Milo's over here trying to find some imaginary animal that he's convinced is between the fence and the raised garden over there. Alright, next up we're going to add straw. We decided to go with throwing some yard clippings in here as well, underneath this layer of straw. And then we're just kind of getting this into place and fluffing it up where it is. Gonna fill more space so we're not putting as much dirt in here, but also create more compost over time. Alright, so we ended up using 1.5 of those compressed straw bales, and we're using the other half for this other raised garden that I built over here. It's much smaller, so we're doing a much less elaborate setup with that one. And we're just putting down a light layer of dirt on top of this to kind of get things settled and squished down. We're actually about to get some rain, so I'm hoping between the two of those we're going to really compact this down so we could put a nice soft layer on top of that. So as you can see, we have lots of layers going on here, and that's creating aeration and space for roots to grow, and creates all sorts of great advantages, and it saves you money on dirt. Alright, so I'm putting in the last bag of dirt from what we had on us, and this should get us to a point to where we have a good base layer going. And we're about to get this rain, and that's going to kind of filter that down all in there. And then after we get more dirt, we're going to do a layer of chicken manure and the sucker sludge that we made a few days ago that's still baking in the sun. And we're going to infuse that all in and then put a layer of topsoil over that, and then we'll be on to planting after that. Okay, so I just cracked open the bucket. As you can see, it's nice and chunky and gross, and that's just what we want. We're going to sprinkle that on there, and if there's any extra chunks in the bottom, that's just going to go in the compost. And so I'm just going to dump this all in here, and we're going to add another layer of dirt, and then we can finally plant. Whew, that smells. Alright, so we are also adding in some chicken poop. Another nice good fertilizer. Nima has chickens, so we got a nice big old bag of it. We're going to use some of this in this bag, and we're going to throw some in some of these other gardens as well. Okay, we got the chicken poop spread in the garden here and here. These this has been sitting for a while, so it's already fairly well broken down. So we're going to throw some more soil on top of this, and then we should be able to start planting. Do it again. The dog loves the chicken poop. He's all about it. So here's some of the flower selection we've got going in. We're doing some zinnias, some 4 o'clocks, some other cool looking fun stuff. This is all stuff that we're going to sell in our flower stand that we have every summer. Some
ginormous sunflowers. I'm gonna eat those. Those are probably going somewhere else. Some beans. We got a stash. We got all sorts of goodies. That's what's going in the garden. We are planting the seeds. What's so funny? My wife is planting her seed. This guy is trying to roll in all the chicken poop, so he covered that up with a fence. Probably will have to do the same with this for a while until the delicious smell of chicken poop and fish guts is subsided. Get it, Milo. He's now convinced that there's something here because of all the smells. Alright, the whole thing is planted and covered to keep the dog out of it because he really loves the fertilizers. And we're about to give this a little water, get it settled down, and then that'll conclude this video. We will do an update later so you can see how things are going and how all of it holds up, but this is the Snugniture raised garden bed. It all fit in a box, shipped to your door. A little less physical labor than building them out of wood like those ones that I did there, and as you can see, it's a little bit nicer, a little prettier to look at. So all in all, I'm pretty happy. It seems like it holds up well with all the dirt in it. It seems stable. It wasn't a nightmare to put together, and shipped to your door, pretty convenient. So check out Snugniture online if you're looking for some raised garden beds, and stay tuned to see how this progresses throughout the season. Alright, thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more Michigan fishing videos, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. The hardest part is watering the garden when you have a dog that loves water more than life itself. So here's about a week's worth of progress here. As you can see, things are growing really well from seed in a short amount of time. It's been a pretty rainy, cool week, so that's kind of worked out well. They've been getting lots of water, but the whole garden's looking good. Lots of green, and everything's holding up nicely. The dog's been kind of getting into it a little bit, but he's just obsessed. Always sniffing in this garden. Hey Milo. Hey Milo. Milo, come here. Come say hi. What are you smelling? He's a hunting pooch.